On WJSQ Athens, today's game is brought to you in part by Madison Avenue Pharmacy, Osmond Flooring, Star Regional Medical Center, Athens Insurance, All Things Exterior, and Simmons Bank. And now with today's play-by-play, here's Jared Wright.
Thank you, Handsome Dan, and once again we welcome you inside Tennessee Wesleyan University's James L. Robb Gymnasium, home of Dwayne Farmer Court, where the Lady Bulldogs and the Bulldogs are getting set to host Bluefield University in the Appalachian Athletic Conference contest here on Tuesday evening. Lady Bulldogs come in after a big road win over at St. Andrews. It's essentially the longest road trip in the conference, and it was a pickup for them and one that they definitely needed to get back into the win column after dropping a thriller against Bryan here last week, 58-55. They picked up the 77-63 victory over in Laurinburg, North Carolina, and did it short-handed. Jared Wright here along with Coach Stan Harrison. And Coach, you've already made reference to it. There's several Lady Bulldogs in street clothes nursing some injuries and some protocols, and so they picked up a win short-handed. They're going to have to do it again here tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little tougher here. Bluefield definitely a better team than St. Andrews. I was looking at the stat sheet here, and it looks like we've got a little over 25 points per game that are in street clothes tonight between Barr and Wright and Stone. And so we got some people going to have to step up tonight. Bluefield's very athletic. This is a game that matches up two teams that are pretty much even in the standings, and it's pretty much a position game in terms of end of the year and tournament seed, and one that Lady Bulldogs really need to pick up, having lost at Bluefield. And so hopefully the reserves will get the job done tonight.
It would be their 9th win in a row against Bluefield here on their home court, and it would be a season split, as Coach just alluded to, as they did drop that one earlier back in December. First part of December, they lost that one 76-69. Wesleyan currently 10-6 overall. Bluefield at 8-10. They are the conference leader at points per game at 74.6. But they also have trouble defending it. So the Lady Bulldogs are going to see a lot of scoring potentially from Bluefield, but at the same time, Bluefield gives a lot of opportunities, ranking dead last, giving up 78.1 points per game. Lady Bulldogs averaging just under 66 points per game. So, but as Coach alluded to, quite a bit of points setting in street clothes tonight. So they are going to have to look for somebody to step up. We'll get to some of those key players in just a few minutes, but another category that the Lady Bulldogs will try to do is force them into turnovers. They lead the conference in not turning the ball over, whereas Bluefield as well is at 4th, but then 4th ranking for the Lady Bulldogs in steals per game at 8.8. So that'll be something they'll try to turn over Bluefield, who doesn't turn it over very much at all. So we are going to pause here and take a commercial break before bringing you the starting lineups back in 60 seconds. Now out front, it's Bates. Ball above her head. She'll send it left side to Crowder. Crowder drives down the left sade of the lane. Layup off the glass is good, and that's 2 left side layups for the Lady Bulldogs.
A little bit of contact there, no call.
Lady Bulldogs.
Meadows looks like she really wants to get the ball on the block, but she's popped out a couple times, including that last shot.
Now here's a drive by Hoover. Missed it. Long. Martin able to corral it, even though Long right there on her. Here goes Crowder into the paint. Skip pass out to Bates, top of the key. Bates blocked on the long jumper here by Long. Here comes Meadows with the ball across midcourt, trying to go right side. Jimenez Diaz takes it away. Mayo's able to pick up the loose ball as Jacob poked it away. Now Crowder, second layup is good on the right side, and that's going to force a quick timeout here early. Lady Bulldogs up 6-0 with 7:46 to play in the first. 30-second timeout. We'll be back in 30. Staying here with you. Lady Bulldogs coming out defensively, forcing some bad shots by Bluefield already. And at least long ones. Meadows had the long 2, but they have not really gone back to her yet. It's been a couple of drives by them, but not getting a shot up and good. And Lady Bulldogs doing a good job of just pushing the ball inside off the dribble. We'll see if they can continue
Really nice
that.
steal on the last possession and a really good job of executing 3-on-1 break going the other way.
So it will be still Bluefield ball out of the timeout. They're going to, pause it to clean up some moisture momentarily. Meadows had 17 points in the previous matchup between these two, so Jimenez Diaz had her by 6.
The rules say no water bottles on the 30-second timeout, but that doesn't stop anybody.
And it happened right in front of the Bluefield bench, so they're Coach Cox and his crew taking care of that one. Up the floor comes Pagan with it. Goes to the right wing over to Breeding. Breeding gets a screen from Meadows. She'll step back for the 3. High arcing hits the backboard support, so that'll be another miss for Bluefield and a turnover to the Lady Bulldogs.
She's not shy shooting it.
Definitely not.
It's 2 long-range shots she's taking.
Bates gets it to the middle of the top of the key to Crowder. Now it's bounce pass feed to Martin. Layup no good, but Crowder pulls down the offensive board. Left open, and she'll curl around for her 3rd layup of the ball game. She's got 6. Jimenez Diaz with 2 for the Lady Bulldogs. Now this one blocked out of bounds by the Lady Bulldogs. Pagan to key it in underneath. Breeding catches on the right wing near that sideline. Now they go with Hoover at the top of the key, working against Jimenez Diaz. Hands off to Meadows. Little give and go. Hoover got free for it. Missed the shot, but it'll go out of bounds off of Tennessee Wesleyan.
We were fortunate there. Diaz went off of her girl to try to double team Meadows and left her open underneath. They just weren't able to convert.
Hoover just kind of missed it. Now it's Long working against Crowder. Spin move, and there's going to be a foul against Crowder. Anna Crowder. It's going to be the first on either team. And so it'll be inbounded underneath by Breeding. And it comes to Hoover. Far corner Breeding. Trying to work it down to Meadows. Now Pagan gets it. Hoover, lob into Meadows. Now they go through her. Takes it off the dribble, but her and Hoover had the same idea. And Martin's going to clean up the loose ball. And that one from Meadows. A little upset on my teammate cut me off.
A little up and under there. And her teammate did a good job defending her.
Now Martin steps back for a 3 and drills it for the Lady Bulldogs' first deep shot of the evening. And it's 11-0 here already. 6:20 to play here in the first quarter. Meadows now gets the feed inside and just kind of lobbed it over the defense there.
Normally Coach Rice likes to play behind the post. I was a little surprised we got caught over on the top side there.
Bates open for a 3 at the top of the key. This one's going to come off to the left. Anna Crowder with her second offensive board. Skip pass out to Martin. She's going back to back. Attempt, missed it. Now the rebound is poked away here from Breeding. Good
Bates
hands
from behind. Nice poke out.
Now Crowder picked it up, out to Jimenez Diaz for 3. That one's no good. Martin tipping the rebound up, but here comes Meadows out of the scrum with it. Approaching the halfway point of the first quarter. Pagan looked like she traveled or carried it. Hoover misses the three from the left. And Martin cleans up the glass. Alexis Bates across midcourt with it. Looking left side to Jimenez Diaz. Breeding overplays it. Jimenez Diaz just inside the arc. Long jumper missed it. Meadows with another rebound. Here comes Hoover up the floor. That's going to be a charge. Anna Crowder puts her body on the line.
Crowder does a great job taking charges.
That's going to be on Hoover, team first. 25, Ella Crowder will check in for twin sister Anna, 5'9" sophomore forward. Martin and Mayo exit as well, as number 10, J.C. Powell checks in, 5'8" sophomore guard from Decatur, along with 34, Ashley Baxter, the 5'11" sophomore forward from Athens. Monet Galloway checks in for Bluefield, number 3, along with number 5, Leslie Flores. Baxter on the near corner. They flip it around top of the key. Bluefield showing a 2-3 zone, it looks like. Baxter near corner. They'll work at top of the key to Crowder. Back to Jimenez Diaz. 5 to shoot. Ball off of Jimenez Diaz's foot straight into the hands of Galloway. Here comes Galloway up the floor. Trying to take it to the low post. Now a cut here and a layup by Kaya Boyd.
Got caught with 2 defenders on on the ball and nobody to take Boyd.
She came flying down the lane, got the bounce pass, and made the layup.
There's a little confusion about who's got who.
Outside it comes to Bates, back right wing to Jimenez Diaz, going to take a 3. This one bounces up and off the glass, no good. Now Kruger has her pass intercepted by Bates. Bates has got a wide open layup on the right side, and they got close to coming off.
Rolled up and over the rim.
They got close to coming off and being a wide open miss.
They pretty much just threw us that pass.
Now Breeding is going to run over Jimenez Diaz, and being helped to her feet, and that's something you got to watch out for. Jordan Wright went down after hitting her head off the floor, and so she's in street clothes. Mayo back for Jimenez Diaz. Stone in street clothes. Abby Barr in street clothes.
Diaz took a pretty good shot there. Good time to sub. And she came out smiling. I bet she's okay.
Left side, Powell over to Mayo, back into the game, and misses the 3, but Powell tips around the rebound. Bates able to come with it on the baseline. They'll have a fresh 20. Baxter back to Mayo, left wing. Now drives center of the lane, left open, and this one doesn't crawl up and over the rim. It falls off to the side.
Used the backboard there.
Breeding gets it on the far block, but doesn't do anything with it. And here's a jump ball. Possession arrow will go to Bluefield. Crowder back into the ball game for her sister Ella. And Long is back in for Bluefield. She'll replace Breeding. Alexis Bates will check out as number 11. Taylor Penning back into the ballgame for the first time today. Sorry, 5'8" sophomore guard. Inbound, they work it out front. 3:08 to play. Lady Bulldogs lead at 13-4. Started out on an 11-0 run. Long, number 11 with it for Bluefield. Little sky hook in the lane. Gets her on board. Put back on the left side is good for her. Nobody boxed her out.
Extremely athletic. Quick jumper off the floor. Need to get it back on her.
Now here's a drive by Crowder, and she misses the layup, but she'll get 2 free throws coming her way. This one's going to be on Mercedes Kruger from Ocala, Florida.
And did a good job of using the left hand there, getting to the basket.
Gone back into the ball game. She'll replace Kruger, it looks like. And Crowder has not been stopped yet trying to get to the rim. That's something I know Coach Rice has tried to push to his team, is there's several of them that can take people off the dribble. She misses the first layup. So Crowder with a second opportunity coming her way. Nothing but nylon on that one. It's back to an 8-point lead. 14-6. Full court pressure being shown momentarily by the Lady Bulldogs. They'll retreat. Now layup on the left side as Boyd converts that one, her second layup of the day.
Throw it up off the glass, it might go in.
That was a philosophy there. Worked out for her. Anna Crowder skips it to the near side to Baxter from the left. Missed the three. Powell in there for another offensive touch on the board. And Penning gets a layup on the short baseline.
We're getting a lot of nice opportunities, a lot of good looks, a lot of threes that look like they're going to go. Maybe some of those start going down for us.
Near side, it's Boyd. Back out to Galloway. Feeds it inside to Long. Long gets another offensive board, her second of the day. And that one, a lot of contact. She hit the deck, but Crowder cleans up the rebound. Under minute 50 to go here in the first quarter.
I think Coach Cox would like to see the foul call there.
Yep, just a little bit. Here comes Crowder down the right side of the lane. That one comes off the front. Picked up here by Flores. And Bluefield's got another opportunity. Wesleyan back defensively, though. Well, they were until Long got on the back side of the defense and gets them into double figures, 16 to 10.
Both of our defenders once again went to the ball side and left the weak side open for the layup.
Right side, Penning on the wing. Skips it to far corner over to Baxter. Puts it on the floor. Now it's Crowder back to Penning, who circled in to replace Baxter in the corner. Mayo's going to fire it from the near corner, and this one bounces up and over. Long pulls down the rebound. Somebody's going to have to stop ball. Every time she touches it, she's going straight to the rim, and Crowder tried to take the charge, but she sidestepped her and drew the foul here against Anna Crowder and made the shot. It's down to a two-possession game, 4-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs.
It looked a little like an NBA continuation. I thought we might have had the foul on the floor.
Yeah. They were tied up for quite some time before she ever threw the shot up. Now Long at the line, 73% shooter on the season. Team ranks second in the conference at 72%. And she converts it, so it's a one-possession game, 3-point lead here with 57 seconds to play in the first quarter. It'll be Mayo bringing it up the floor. Martin back into the ball game, replacing Baxter. Skips over to Powell. Back up top it comes to Penning, now right wing, it's Martin. She'll send it left side over to Powell, who takes a three, missed it. Another offensive rebound. Lady Bulldogs have done a great job crashing the offensive boards. And there's Mayo with the second chance three.
Nice inside-out pass from Penning there.
It's a 6-point game. Far side, Bluefield on the wing with it. 25 seconds to go. They're wanting to get it inside. Hoover now lobbing it to Meadows at the elbow. Back out front it comes to Galloway. Gets a screen from Meadows. Meadows pops back, and she's going to just barely touch the outside of the net on this three-pointer. So the Lady Bulldogs with 12.5 will try to extend their lead to a three-possession. Mayo with the ball, gets it to Powell near midcourt. 5 seconds to go. Powell takes it all the way in and then dishes out to Martin. Martin's going to pull it at the buzzer, and it's going to go too strong off the back side of the glass. So at the end of the first quarter, Lady Bulldogs leading it by 6, 19 to 13. They started out 11-0, but they will look to continue this lead in the second quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Now's the best.
Gymnasium, Lady Bulldogs and Lady Rams of Bluefield battling here. AAC matchup. Wesleyan has Jimenez, Diaz, Mayo, Powell, Martin, and Bates out there. Bates has it in the near corner, throws up a three, and it drops for her. That's 9-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs. Now Hoover circled it inside and then brings it back out. Now the lob to the left block to Meadows, goes across the lane, missed the layup. Still keeping her in check thus far. Menez-Diaz drops it back to Bates. This one going to be airballed. So Lady Bulldogs have to set up defensively, and it looks like they're not going to pressure here.
Just a little quick with that shot. We've done that 2 or 3 times. I'd like to see us offense it just a little bit, give ourselves a chance to step into a three instead of shooting it so quick off the pass.
Now Meadows, well, Powell felt she got the ball ripped away from Meadows, but they're going to get a foul on J.C. Powell. It's going to be her first. Team first of the quarter. Bluefield gets it in. Breeding's going to take a three on the right wing. It hits off the left side of the glass. And Menez-Diaz picks it up. She'll bring it all the way up the floor. Near corner to Powell. Three on the way, and it rolls in for her. Lady Bulldogs knocking down a couple of big threes here. They've had plenty of looks. Starting to knock them down. 12-point lead once again for the Lady Bulldogs, their largest of the league game.
Pretty clear they're going to back it in. They're going to give us that look. We just got to make it.
Now Bluefield keeping it around the perimeter. It's Hoover, high post feed into Flores. Meadows sets a screen for her. Flores banks it home from behind the free throw line. Lady Bulldogs with Jimenez-Diaz in control. Skip pass from Martin comes to the near side to Mayo. Martin flashes across the line, could have got it to her. Instead, it's Jimenez-Diaz from the corner, missed the three. Martin battling for the rebound against Meadows, and it's tipped into the hands of Bates. Now Martin taking it off the dribble, gives it to Powell. Powell down the left side of the lane, layup good for J.C. Powell.
Nice job.
Lady Bulldogs very unselfish basketball here early on. They push it back to a 12-point advantage. Hoover, left side of the floor, it comes to Meadows. Meadows goes baseline. They're going to get a blocking foul down low against Cambry Mayo. That's going to be her first. She's slow to get up, but back to her feet. Team second of the quarter. And Meadows is going to step to the line. 88% shooter on the season. Ranks first in the conference in that category. And she makes the first one. .740 here to play in the second quarter. Both of them converted at the line for Meadows. Hoover will check out. Gone back into the ball game. Bates bringing it up the floor for Tennessee Wesleyan. And a 10-point lead. They go left side to Powell. Steps into another three and drills it. J.C. Powell gets them to 30. They lead it by 13, their largest of the game. Left side, Breeding's going to take another one. Short on this one. Mayo battles Hoover for it. Comes out victorious, pushing the pace, person advantage. Powell left open, tries another three. Long rebound, corralled here by Galloway. Pushes it up to Breeding. Breeding layup on the right side is good. Transition offense working out.
We needed to retreat back to the middle of the lane there and work out, sort of follow the ball and let one get behind us.
Jimenez-Diaz out front, under 7 to play in the half. Martin far wing. Skip out to Mayo on the right. Jimenez-Diaz from the top of the key. Drive and dish over to Powell. Powell goes in, layup too strong off the left side. Ella Crowder, left side, skips it to Baxter. Had to try to jump for it, and it just sails off her fingertips. So Bluefield will inbound it in front of their own bench with Boyd giving it to Galloway here. Inside, Meadows, a little ball fake against Baxter, too strong. Backside nice rebound. Here comes Jimenez-Diaz, pushing the pace. Triple teamed in the low block, and they're going to get a jump ball. This one will send it back Bluefield's into the floor.
Forced out a little bit. 1 on 3.
Coach Cox looking at Meadows, kind of shrugging his shoulders after her missed attempt inside. Made a good move, just too strong. She'll have another opportunity here. They work it inside. They do. Working against Baxter. Steps through and jump ball. This one will give it back to Wesleyan. So back-to-back possession arrows. Mayo returns. She'll replace Bates.
The best thing that Meadows is out again, I think mostly from frustration. We're doing a very good job defensively on her, and if we can frustrate her to the bench, then that's just fine.
She'll be replaced here by Flores. Penning sends it top of the key. They work it around to the left wing to Crowder. Back up top is Baxter with it. Menez-Diaz drives inside, a quick crossover at the elbow, throws a prayer up off the glass. Long clears it up for the defense. She's going to try to push the pace a little bit. Gets through 2 defenders, and Long has been their answer for anything here tonight.
She is quick.
Back down to a 9-point lead with under 5 to play in the half. Ella Crowder now driving inside, dishes it out to Penning. Bounce pass behind her to Crowder. An extra one to Mayo in the near corner, and Mayo drills it.
Nice ball movement.
Felt like an extra pass, and it benefited the Lady Bulldogs there as they push it back to a 12-point advantage. Now Galloway, drive and dish to her left, over to Boyd. Boyd's 3 was down and pops right back out.
In and out.
4:15 to go. Menez-Diaz controlling it. Lady Bulldogs, even with 3 key players out, not looking like they're missing a beat here early. Baxter gets a screen for Penning. Baseline feed to Crowder. Extra kick out to the left wing, and Baxter gets in on the 3-point shooting. 38-23 with under 4 to play. It's a 15-point advantage for the Lady Bulldogs, and timeout on the floor. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
WJSQ FM 101.7
crowd.
Back here from Tennessee Wesleyan University, Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison. So Lady Bulldogs jumped out to an 11-0 lead in the first quarter, and they have not looked back. It's gotten down to 3 points towards the end of the first quarter, but the Lady Bulldogs have pushed it to their largest lead of 15, where we stand now. 5 different players knocking down 7 3-pointers for Tennessee Wesleyan. Out of the timeout, here's Flores knocking down a long 2 for Bluefield.
I believe she likes the 15-footer at the free throw line. That's 2 of them.
That is her go-to spot. Powell takes a 3 from the left wing, chases her own rebound though. Bounce pass down to Ella Crowder. It's poked away. And here comes Destiny Long with it. Behind her back dribble, she'll stop herself. Penning was right there with her, but here comes Long down the left side and draws the foul on the shot, which is good. So an old 3-point play coming her way as Taylor Penning's going to pick up her first, team third. And Coach Ross is going to go back to the bench real quick. Bates and Menez-Diaz coming back into the ball game. Long averages 13.3. It's kind of been the bright spot for Bluefield thus far offensively, leading them with 9 points, 5 rebounds as well. She's quickly on pace for a double-double evening. Makes the 3-point play at the line. Takes it to a 10-point lead. Powell sends it left side over to Mayo. Up top comes Baxter. Extra pass here to Bates on the right wing. Powell, top of the key. Now they put it on the floor, get it to Mayo. Shot clock down to 10. Bates a little head fake, now drives baseline. Blocked on the shot, but Powell clears it up. Baxter for three on the left wing, rattles it in. Once again, Lady Bulldogs crashing the offensive boards very well. Back to a 13-point game. Far side of the floor, it's Flores. Gets to the high post, but she'll pass it up to Hoover. Three-pointer in the near corner. Skies up off the front of the rim for her. Here comes Jimenez Diaz.
We don't have the size advantage, but we're certainly working hard, hustling on the glass on both ends.
Mayo's going to take a three from the left side, and she drills it, or from the right side, correction. And Mayo has her second of the ball game. Now a drive inside by Galloway. Kicks it back to Boyd. Boyd, a little up and under move, gets free and banks it in off the glass. 2 minutes to play. Now Baxter on the right wing. 14-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs. Mayo on the baseline in the short corner. Drops it back to Bates. Three-pointer for Bates is good. Lady Bulldogs lighting it up from outside. 1:40 to play here in the half. Now they get Flores free on the backside, and Coach Rice was yelling it out before they ever threw it.
Somebody lost again on defense.
1:27. Baxter sends it over to Powell. Extra pass into the corner to Bates, who drives in and dishes it right wing to Jimenez Diaz. She'll set a screen for Mayo. Drops it to Bates. Bates trying to take Flores off the dribble. Now it's Mayo with it against Long. Right side, Bates takes a three as the shot clock was down to 3. Out of bounds off of Bluefield, so it's a fresh 20 that's down here for the Lady Bulldogs. Martin returns for Tennessee Wesleyan. Meadows back in along with Pagan for Bluefield. Jacob gets the inbounds. Under a minute to play here. Bates feed into Martin, working against Flores. A little spin move off the glass is short. Here comes Boyd pushing the pace up the floor for the Rams. She'll circle it back top of the key. Flores from the top. She's going to airball that three. Meadows thought about trying to save it, but she'll pass up that opportunity.
She likes the 15-footer.
Yeah.
But the 20-footer,
Yeah.
not so much.
Not so much on that one. Coach Rice is going to have to call a timeout because nobody was in the backcourt to help Bates inbound the ball. And so with 39.6 remaining here in the first half, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Come see us at Osmond.
Back here, James L. Robb Gymnasium. Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison. Lady Bulldogs leading at 47-32 with 39 seconds to play. First half action against Bluefield University. Bates gets a screen on the left from Martin. She'll use it, then dish it off to Jacob. Now Jimenez Diaz driving. Layup on the left side, a lot of contact, no whistle. Pagan loses the dribble, regains it. She'll clear it out to Flores with 18 to play. Far side, Breeding going to take a three, misses it off the backside. Mayo gets the rebound with 12 seconds to play.
Need to make sure we get the last one.
It'll be Jimenez Diaz bringing it up the near side. Crossover, gets a screen from Martin, layup high off the glass and no good. And Boyd's going to get a rebound, but Bluefield is not going to get the last shot off before the buzzer sounds. And the Lady Bulldogs in front, 47-32 at half. They're doing it with some outstanding three-point shooting and some offensive rebounding, as we will get to some of that in just a couple of minutes. We're going to take a 2-minute break here from James L. Robb and back with some first half stats. Back in 2 minutes. Back here at Tennessee Wesleyan, where the Lady Bulldogs with a commanding first half lead, 47-32. They have never really been in doubt. Bluefield did cut it to 3 when it was 16-13 with 57 seconds left in the first quarter, but Tennessee Wesleyan able to start getting the 3-ball going. They've made 10 of them from behind the arc, and at least 5 different players have knocked down 3-pointers, so that's been a highlight of the first half, and especially the second quarter they got it going. Pushed the lead up to 15 with about 4 minutes left, and then that's where they stand at the half. But doing it very well, shooting roughly 43% from the field and 45% from behind the arc as well. Coming up later this evening after this contest is done, we'll have the men in action. 11-4 Bulldogs come in to James L. Robb trying to get back into the win column against the Bluefield College Rams, or University Rams, who they are trying to get back into the win column. Both teams losing their last games that they have been out, and we are pleased to be joined by one of those Bulldogs and one of the seniors of this ball club, and number 13, Elisha Mayberry from Ball Ground, Georgia. And I know we've gotten a chance to talk in the past, but let's go a little bit back. You know, you're a senior, but some time to reflect about how you ended up at Tennessee Wesleyan and what that's been like for you.
I'm from Glenville College originally, D2 in West Virginia. I came from there. I wanted to come back home. I spent 2 years up there. It's 8 hours away from where I'm from, so I didn't like it at all. A little too cold for me. So I came back down here, just close to home, not too close at all. But it just felt like home. Coach Stone welcomed me. He talked to me a lot about being here, the culture here, and how he wanted to change that when I first got here. And I was just on board as soon as he said that.
I'm sure family, friends that have wanted to come watch you play like that it's a little bit closer to home as well.
Yes, sir.
How has that been? Has it been a little bit better, probably easier to go home as well for you?
Yes, sir. It's been a lot easier to go home because I'm 2 hours away from here. So it's so much easier. My parents can come up here on weekends. We can talk about the games afterwards. I can go eat with them and everything and just relax. So it's so much better.
And it's warmer most of the time. Now, around Christmas, it was not too warm around here. I know y'all had some over-the-break games, but you know, you all have kind of been right there behind Union all season in that second spot. You, along with Jonathan Webb and Todd Patterson, 3 of the leaders, veterans on this ball club. A lot of new faces, but a lot of guys that are making a huge impact already. Talk about a little bit about the newcomers that have made a huge impact.
The newcomers that some of y'all might not know about is Peyton, Kobe. They both transferred in from JUCOs, both really good players. I love playing with them a lot. Kobe, he's a force down low. Every time we feed him, it's either a hook shot or a good play afterwards, and I love that. Peyton's a smart point guard, savvy. He plays defense, and he just pushes the pace all the time. Ray stepped up tremendously this year. He played with us a little bit last year, and he stepped up real big this year, and he's doing real good things.
Everybody we've talked to so far this year has talked about this team really has gelled together, and especially when you bring several new faces in, you never know how it's going to work out, but it seems that y'all have done a great job with that.
Yes, sir, we have. The new guys who came in, we started playing like as soon as everybody came in the first week of school. So we really just started doing that and haven't stopped. We always be with each other. We're just, I think this probably be the most tight-knit group of players and teammates I have had.
Now, as a reference, y'all were you sitting in second place behind Union, lost a tough one up there that was not typical of the way you all have played thus far. Matt and I were up there for that one for the radio, but you still kind of hold your own destiny. You're still in that second spot. You dropped a tough one on the road on Saturday at St. Andrews. Let's talk a little bit about that. Is it something easy that y'all can fix? Have you already kind of pushed that one to the back of the mind?
No, this one kind of sits with me because we just let that one slip away, like you said. That one hurts because we was down at one point like 14. We fought back. We just couldn't get over the edge. We tied it up a few times, and they scored probably a few free throws in here and there. And we just couldn't get back on top there. But it's gonna sit with us. We want that. It's gonna sit with us. But the next game today, we got to make some noise. We got to get back in that winning column, like you said, and just get going.
Let's talk a little bit about Bluefield. It's a team that you all have already faced and beat. Talk to us a little bit from your perspective as a guy that can shoot the ball very well. How is it playing at Bluefield?
It's hard, man. It's like it's a dome setting, so it's very different. The lights are very different. The gym is just very different. It feels kind of like a smaller type court, so just like you feel it's more closed in. It's a lot of things going against you against Bluefield, but they're a good team. They play good defense. They can shoot very well. So we're we're gonna have a good battle tonight.
You referenced the dome. It's definitely the dome, but then it's also you got two goals that are completely different. As you talked about, the lights in one end also present some issues as well, but it's also the home of Billy Berry, the head baseball coach here at Tennessee Wesleyan. The man to my left pulled out of Bluefield. I saw him standing down here, so we'll give him a little shout out. But you know, when you have a team that you've already beat, do you feel there's more pressure to beat them the second time that you've seen them, or is it you know what they're going to bring?
It's a little bit of both. You know what they're going to bring, but it's that added pressure because they know that we beat them last time, and they know what to do to fix those certain things that they might have thought we could have got them here. So we just got to be ready as well and just know that they're going to give us their all.
Let's talk a little bit about your student athlete. What's the major for you, and kind of how's that going for you right now?
I'm a special education major, K through 8 right now. I'm almost done. I'm basically done right now. I'm in right now student teaching and stuff like that, and as soon as I get done with that, I'll be graduating in May.
Where all have you gotten to do your student teaching at?
I've done Riceville Elementary School, E.K. Baker down here, and then I've done Inglewood.
Okay, so getting to several different corners of the county
Yes,
here
sir.
locally to get in the school, so that's awesome, and probably makes this senior part of your season feel a little bit less pressure as far as that, have that kind of ready to go. Now, do you plan on staying here? Are you going to try to go back home and work in education there, or wherever you can land?
I plan on staying in Tennessee for a little while, for like 3 or 4 years, just getting some footing first for like teaching and how everything is, just learning everything at that point, and then I'm probably going to make my way down home.
Any coaching plans in the future, working in the school systems?
Yes, sir. I definitely plan on coaching. I want to stay with the basketball. I want to teach kids and want to coach kids. Just do a lot of that stuff. I love it.
Always great to hear a lot of guys talking about giving back to the game that they have been fortunate to play in. And how long have you been? How far back do you go playing in elementary school or even before that?
I was a big kid, so I started playing when I was 6 years old. My mom put a ball in my hand, we went from there. It was always a hobby, then it became serious probably say 8th grade. But I've always loved and just played basketball since I was a little baby.
Find him in the gym most days, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So, what has been, I guess, the biggest, you talked about you went D2 to start out and getting recruited out of high school. But coming to NAIA, there's not that many differences. That people don't really understand that. They think you see the NCAA, the D2, the D1. There's not a lot of differences between the D2, D3 level on NAIA. But for you, what has been the biggest adjustment, both on the court and academically even?
On the court, it's just been, the speed is basically the same. The players are just not as big. That's the only difference. It's not as many trees down low. So it made my life a little easier going to the paint. Academically, the classes are very small, so it's just more one-on-one with the professor. It's very easy that way. They can help you out a lot more. You can talk to them a lot more. I like that a lot.
Definitely makes, if you have trouble with your classes, a lot easier to approach a professor that way, for sure. One thing I want to hit on a little bit, you're averaging 13.4, one of the Bulldogs shooting over 50% this season. Has it just felt different for you this year coming out the gate? I know there's been a few games I know you've had what most would consider a slump, an off night, but you've shot the ball really well and been in the top 20 in most categories in the conference all year. What's been different for you?
Really, I think I go back to this summer. The work I put in this summer, I put a lot of work in this summer on my shot, on my mechanics, on the small details, and I just been steady with my work, been consistent with my work, and it's been paying off for me so far.
You've had 4 20-point games. Can we expect that tonight? We're going to see 20 points out of you this year?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get that for you. Yes, sir.
Tonight? So that's his season high. His career high is 26, so not far off of that pace.
How about 20 and 10 tonight?
20 and 10? I like that better.
20
yes,
and 10. Hey, coach wants it there. So 11, I'm just going to highlight 11 rebounds is career high, which is season high as well, of course. But, 20 and 10, we'll take that anytime we can get it. Well, Eli, we appreciate you joining us once again. Congratulations on the academics. Sounds like you've got that set and you're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
And a bright future. And hopefully one day we'll see you maybe coaching somewhere as well.
Yes, sir. I hope so well.
Thank you, Eli. Good luck
you
tonight.
guys. Thank you.
I don't want to mislead our listening audience. Calling Bluefield's facility a dome, that similarity ends in the fact that it's round.
Yeah, that is it. That is about it. The dome is, it's round. So,
very round.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we appreciate it, Eli. Thank you so much. And it's quite just an interesting atmosphere up there. But nonetheless, Eli and his teammates will be ready to square off against Bluefield coming up here in just a little bit after the girls' game here. They're back out on the court warming up. The Lady Bulldogs leading it by 15. The men's matchup, that's going to be an 11-4 Bulldogs against the 8-11 Bluefield. Richard Morgan's the head coach there at Bluefield. He's been there for 14 years. He's a long-timer in the conference. And Coach Stone, of course, in his 5th year, but he's been there for a number of years as the assistant under Mike Poe here at Tennessee Wesleyan. So it's very familiarities between the two. And as we alluded to in the Bryan game, Brian Milligan, Bluefield's another one of those, a long-time opponent in the AAC for the Bulldogs, and they even left the conference for a little bit and then made their way back to the AAC a number of years ago. So it'll be a good contest coming up after that one, or after this one, sorry. Let's go ahead. We'll take a 30-second break, and then we'll bring you some first-half stats. We'll be back in 30 seconds. WJSQ, WLAR, Athens, Tennessee. Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison. Quickly looking at the individual scoring before we get to the team numbers. Tennessee Wesleyan being currently led by Alexis Bates with 10 points. She's knocked down 2 of 5 from behind the arc, 4 of 9 from the floor. Cambry Mayo with 9 points, all 3 of those from behind the arc. She's 3 of 5 from there. 8 points by J.C. Powell, who's knocked down 2 threes. 7 points by Anna Crowder with 3 rebounds. 6 points by Ashley Baxter, both from behind the arc. 3 points by McKaylee Martin, and that's from behind the arc as well. So Lady Bulldogs with 5 different players knocking down a three-pointer. On the other side for Bluefield, it's Destiny Long with 12 points, 5 rebounds. Coach, you want to go over the team numbers for us there?
Sure. For Bluefield, 32 points on 14 of 34 from the field, 41%. 0 of 10 on threes. We'll let them have the 3, looks like. 4 of 4 at the free throw line. 4 turnovers, 5 points off our turnovers, 17 total rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. For Tennessee Wesleyan, 47 points on 18 of 42 from the field, almost 43%. Shooting better from 3 than for 2. 10 of 22, 45.5%. 1 of 2 at the free throw line. 20 total rebounds, so out rebounding them by 3. Jimenez Diaz leading us in rebounds with 8. 12 assists. Really passed the ball well tonight. I think that's been the difference for us. Our ability to score is we're making, as you have indicated several times, that extra pass.
And it's something Coach Ross has been yelling at him. I know I've heard it through our headsets is, keep moving it, keep moving it. He doesn't want to get the offense stagnant against this Bluefield team, and it really helps keep the rhythm going a little bit as well. So Lady Bulldogs will open up defensively here in the third quarter. It'll be Cambry Mayo, Alexis Bates, Anna Crowder, McKaylee Martin, and Jacob Jimenez Diaz. Starters from the first half back out there. Bluefield with Flores, Galloway, Boyd, Long, and Breeding. So a different starting 5 in the second half for them. It's Long. She'll quickly work it into the paint and drop it out to Breeding. Breeding's going to take another 3. She is still trying to find that bucket from outside. She's 0 of 6 from out there now. Wesleyan in transition offense. Jimenez Diaz comes out and airballs it. She tips it out, but Long's able to pick it up on the sideline. She'll push it all the way to the low post, and then she'll circle it back out to the top of the key to Breeding, trying to take Martin off the dribble. Kick out to Galloway. Galloway looked like she
traveled, no question.
Took an extra step there to start.
Yeah, they're going to get her now. That one, I think she did on the second one, but
the first one she definitely did.
I think the official said, okay, let's get her here then.
Yep. So 9:20 to play here in the third quarter already. And Wesleyan second possession. Let's see, Crowder top of the key. Brings it near side. Mayo's going to take the 3, and that one's going to airball to the right. So first 2 shots by the Lady Bulldogs is saved there by Bates. Gets it into Jimenez Diaz, who draws the foul. That one's going to be on Breeding, her second. And the Lady Bulldogs have airballed their first 2 attempts here. But Jimenez Diaz will be at the line.
I think it's interesting that Meadows starts the second half on the bench.
Yep.
Leading scorer, leading rebounder.
That's where she will sit. And having a frustrating night, and this Wesleyan defense has done a good job corralling her inside. Jimenez Diaz rattles the second one, so 1 for 2 there. 48-32 the score. Breeding on the right wing, lobs it in. Jimenez Diaz deflects the entry pass. Here comes Bates with it, cut off by Breeding. Gets it to Mayo. Quickly, Jimenez Diaz. Reverse layup is good by Jacob. Nice ball movement without having to put it on the floor. And then here's another turnover by Bluefield. Going to travel with it on the far side of the floor.
Same young lady, same move. I think he was looking for that time.
Jimenez Diaz on the right wing, sends it near side to Crowder. Takes it off the dribble, goes left side of the lane, and she'll draw the third foul on Breeding here. Good take by Anna. She'll get 2 free throws, so 2 trips already to the line. Here comes Hoover to check in for Bluefield. She'll replace Breeding, who will sit with 3 fouls. Breeding 12.6 points per game. Crowder makes the first free throw. (51-32). Make that 52-32. Lady Bulldogs have turned that first half lead into a 20-point lead here. Opening up on a 5-0 run. Inside, here's Boyd, back to the basket, spins away. Martin gets the big block inside. And she'll clear it out to Camber Mayo. Left side, it's Crowder with it. Dribbles once to her right and sends it to Bates. Now here comes Jimenez Diaz. Drops it back, Martin open for 3. Missed it on the left side, she knew it. Flores gets the rebound, she'll clear it up to Galloway. Lady Bulldogs trying to get back defensively. Out to Hoover. She's open on the right wing and short on the 3. Crowder avoids between the legs. Step back for a long 2. Jimenez Diaz clears up another rebound. She's got 10 rebounds on the count now with 5 points. Crowder drops it back to Bates. Gets free. Floater in the middle of the lane. Gets it to roll in. Lady Bulldogs continuing to add to this lead. 22. Where it stands, 54-32. Gone in the lane, spins away. Shot no good. Official catches the ball on the baseline. Here comes Meadows now. 3 minutes roughly into the third quarter for the conference's leading scorer into the ball game. And it's going to be Hoover to inbound it underneath for Bluefield. Martin right there with Meadows. Meadows gets the inbound off the bounce. Gets it to Boyd on the elbow extended left side. Boyd guarded by Crowder. Person-to-person defense shown by the Lady Bulldogs. Here goes Hoover, a little kick floater in the lane, no good. Martin clears out the rebound. Here comes Jimenez Diaz. Works it to the right wing, and then her and Crowder really standing right beside each other. They'll hand it off. Mayo.
A little better spacing than that.
Yeah. Crowder has Pagan on her. Now trying to take number 1 off the dribble. Pagan hit the deck. Mayo's pass picked off here by Long. Long's going to try to push it. Mayo from behind tried to get the block, but they're going to call her for the foul most likely. Yep. It's going to be Mayo's team second of the quarter. That's going to send Destiny Long to the line.
A little careless with the ball. Good hustle trying to get back.
She's a perfect 2 of 2 at the line. That was one of those. Wesleyan's done a good job of inside out, working it inside and then dishing it back, and that one just got picked off. Ella Crowder and Ashley Baxter back in, along with J.C. Powell. Mayo, Martin, and Anna Crowder will take a seat. Long at the line, short on the first free throw. None of the Bluefield players are at the charity stripe or down the lane. They're all 4 back. 6-19 to go in the third quarter. Wesleyan leading at 54-32 after the 2 missed free throws here by Long. Bates, right wing. Top of the key, it's Baxter. Baxter hands it off to Powell. Back to Ella Crowder, near side. Now they work it to the right wing. Jimenez-Diaz, top of the key. Right, trying to get by Hoover. This one will roll out of bounds off of Bluefield's foot. It looked like Bluefield almost switched to a 3-2 type of zone. Bates, long lob into Baxter on the wing. 10 seconds to shoot.
Man here, pretty sloughed off, but a lot of man.
Down low it comes to Powell. Crowder gets it at the free throw line and gets fouled hard by Long as the shot clock was winding down. She'll get 2 shots. Destiny Long's going to pick up her first.
She got her money's worth with that foul.
She did.
That's a pretty hard foul.
So Ella Crowder will step to the line. They did. They kind of manned up, but slacking off. Let J.C. Powell get free. If she'd have just turned a little bit more, she'd have had a wide open shot. Still made a good pass to Ella Crowder, who knocks down the first free throw. Got Ella to the line. 23-point lead. And Ella converts both of them. Now every Lady Bulldog that has seen the floor this evening has scored. And it's 56-32. Bates will exit. Mayo back into the ball game here. Pagan crossing midcourt with it. Drops it over to Hoover, brings it back near the top of the key. She'll stop for a 3 on the wing, missed it. Baxter boxed out Meadows pretty good and gets the rebound defensively. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Right side, Powell over to Crowder. Now Jimenez-Diaz trying to take Pagan off the dribble. Again,
it's 2-3 now.
Played some high school ball against each other. Powell at the top offensively. Her pass deflected, but Jimenez-Diaz picks it up with 6 to shoot. Mayo trying to get by her defender. Throws up a prayer, and this one's going to go. They're going to say it's a shot clock violation, and that's what the back official overrules it. Baseline official thought it was blocked out. Buzzer just didn't sound. Could maybe hit the reset button too quickly, but nonetheless, turnover here by Tennessee Wesleyan. 5 to play in the third. Hoover, left side, drops it to Breeding. Breeding gets a screen from Meadows.
There's a 3.
Breeding has not missed him for lack of trying, that's for sure. She finally hits one. That's our first bucket of the second half.
And their first 3 of the game after 12 misses.
Now Baxter over to Powell, right side. Powell trying to come around the screen from Baxter, had to regain control of it. Mayo gets a screen from Baxter, goes the opposite. 5 seconds to shoot. Jimenez-Diaz throws up a prayer from the baseline, missed it. Powell gets the rebound. Bounce pass into the lane to Crowder. Crowder goes up, gets blocked out of bounds. Coach Cox upset with Meadows not boxing out on the backside. Here comes Flores in for Boyd. Now Bluefield will have to regroup defensively on who they're guarding. Bates coming back in for Tennessee Wesleyan. She'll replace Jimenez-Diaz. And so it'll be Bates that will key it in underneath. 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Mayo gets it on the far wing. Driving inside, floater off the glass, no good. Gone gets the rebound, and Powell's going to pick up a foul here. It's going to be the third for Tennessee Wesleyan. Powell's second foul. Still Wesleyan going person to person here. Mayo's going to pick up Pagan. Pagan moves it to the near side, keeps her dribble, goes back to the top of the key, passes it behind her to Meadows. A little ball fake. Now Meadows is going to get bumped off the dribble on the floor by Baxter. Ashley's going to pick up her first. So one more will put Bluefield in the bonus here. Meadows, quick catch off the inbound, missed it. Rebounds tipped out to Breeding from Flores. Here's Hoover, feeds it into Flores. Flores, sky hook, missed it. Meadows tipping the rebound up to herself. It'll go out of bounds off of her. She is having a very frustrating night. Wesleyan doing a good job of keeping her in check here. Bates across midcourt with it. Comes near side to Powell on the AAC logo. High post feed into Baxter. Walks it down the right side, spin around. Comes off the back iron and glass, no good. Up the floor to Breeding. Breeding has it poked away by Powell. Good hands by JC there.
Tried to take it 1-on-2. JC did a good job being there and poking it out.
Now here's Hoover poking away the pass there from Ella Crowder. Now it'll be Wesleyan to inbound it. It's deflected, so Anna Crowder's going to come back in. She'll replace her sister Ella. 3:07 to go in the third quarter. Shot clock is 15. Mayo, right wing. Passes it to her right to Baxter. Far corner three, no good. Meadows chases the backside rebound down.
Bluefield doing a much better job this half of taking the penetration away. It is a person-to-person or man-to-man defense, but a lot of sag in it, a lot of help. And, we're still trying to force that dribble just a little bit too much.
Wesleyan, after the miss by Meadows from three, has it offensively. Mayo feeds it into Bates, who is left wide open, cutting across the lane. Busted coverage right there. Lady Bulldogs will take advantage, back to a 23-point advantage. Meadows inside, Baxter, good defense. As that shot came off short. Here comes Anna Crowder in transition. Thought about circling it back out. She'll send it far side to Powell. Back over it comes to Crowder, who has to jump for the pass. Those get a little bit sketchy there. Now a reach here by Bluefield on Hoover. She's going to pick up her second. Lady Bulldogs.
I'm sure we're going to get that call. It came a little late.
That was, it was poked away from behind. Went flying, but Powell picked up the foul there. Jimenez, Diaz, and Martin back in for Tennessee Wesleyan. Galloway back in, along with Long for the Lady Rams. Here's Bates with it. Flips it to her right over to Crowder. Skip pass near side to Mayo. Two Wesleyan players on the ground. That was Jimenez, Diaz, and Bates. They both collided. Missed three here by Mayo. Here comes Galloway pushing the pace. Bounce pass feed into Long. She'll throw it across the lane to Meadows. Circles it back inside. She'll get two shots coming her way. And this one's going to be on Martin, who felt she was straight up with her arms. And so it will be Meadows at the line. 58-35, a minute 40 to play in the third quarter. Meadows perfect at the line thus far, 3 for 3 now. She makes the first one. And she converts both of them. Nice shooting touch at the line.
She does have a nice shot.
Barely moving the net on both of those.
That move across the baseline showed me why she's averaging 17 and a half. I hadn't seen it until now.
Kind of went out and then circled it right back. Got to the line. Now Mayo near corner feed from Crowder. Gets the three-pointer. The answer. 61-37. Lady Bulldogs still in front. Ties their largest lead of the game at 24 and a chance to extend it here. Anna Crowder pulling it up the floor. Minute 8 to play in the third quarter. Bates on the right wing. Skips it up to Anna Crowder to her left. Now a feed into Bates. Touch pass to Jimenez Diaz near corner. She'll drive inside and throw it up off the glass between two defenders. 63-37.
That one's a little more under control. A little bit of a little mini hook there off the glass.
Use that backboard. Long sends it left side to Meadows for three. Meadows airballs this one. Hoover trying to save it. She throws it back. Wesleyan didn't pick it up, but there's Long with it. She makes the second chance. Under 25 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
Caught a little flat-footed there.
Didn't expect Hoover to save it, and she threw it past two Wesleyan defenders. Wesleyan going to hold it for the last shot of the third quarter. Clock down to 10 seconds now. Jimenez Diaz in the front court with it. Gets a screen from Martin, loses the handle. Long picks her up. Having to pass it off over to Crowder. Overplayed by Flores. Takes Flores all the way in and makes the bucket at the buzzer. Great job by Anna Crowder to take the drive and score before the buzzer sounds. So at the end of 3, it's Tennessee Wesleyan up 65-39. We'll be back in 60 seconds. WJSQ, WLAR, Jared Wright, Coach Stan Harrison. Final 10 minutes to go in this Women's Appalachian Athletic Conference matchup. Wesleyan in front by 26, their largest of the game. They've been there 2 times now in the third quarter. They've got Bates, who's leading them in scoring, and she opens with a 3 on the third quarter, puts them at 68-39. Didn't waste any time getting started here.
Alexis done a great job 2 games in a row now of stepping up with J.C. Stone being out.
Now it's her at the top of the key. She's at her career high now after that made shot of 17, one better. She tied it against St. Andrews this weekend. Now Mayo sends it over to Bates, and there's a shot clock violation. That was a quick shot clock violation.
It was.
Well,
it really was.
Seems more like 20 instead of 30, but Wesleyan will turn it over. Even Coach Ross had the puzzled look on his face on that one. Nonetheless, a minute played here in the final frame. Right side, Breeding. They're wanting to get it into Meadows. Breeding instead puts it on the floor and walks it to the top of the key. Drops it over to Galloway. Far side, Pagan for 3. Airballs it. Their shooting woes from outside continue. They were second in the conference from behind the arc, 31.5%.
That's a little bit less than that.
5.9 currently is what they set up. Crowder, quick crossover against Breeding, out to Bates. Now far side, it's Mayo. Here's Martin left wing. Shot clock down to 8 here. Over to Mayo, far corner, gonna drive. Throws up a shot in the lane and draws the foul here against Flores. That's gonna be Wesley's first. Team first of the quarter. And Mayo will step to the line. First trip there tonight. Makes the first one. It's now a 30-point lead. Again, at one time, this was down to a 3-point game with under a minute to go in the first quarter, but the Lady Bulldogs have not looked back as she converts both free throws.
I think Bluefield's getting a good taste tonight of what it's like in this league to make that 4.5-hour drive, get out of the van and play. Just don't have your legs. You just don't have the feel.
One of the tougher road trips in the conference. A lot of them are. Now Meadows down the left side of the lane cannot buy the shot. Here's Crowder with the rebound. And it's usually one of those where each home team's going to win in this series. And that's the way it's looking here. Bluefield won on their court. Lady Bulldogs just time against them here. Jimenez Diaz just wide open down the left side of the lane. Nobody switched over.
Absolutely no help side defense.
Now Galloway steps inside the arc, missed it. Bates battles Meadows for the rebound, but Galloway comes away with it. And it's going to be a jump ball that will stay with Bluefield. That was a little bit of sloppy basketball all around. Bates was battling Meadows for a big rebound. Just had it poked away.
Nobody really ever can get control.
Pagan set the kid in, and it comes to Meadows. Spins into Martin's arms, and shot goes too strong, and backside rebound by Jacob.
And her frustrations continue.
Now Mayo overplayed, kicks it off the drive, out to Bates. Her three-pointer is off the mark, but Coach Ross not unhappy with that one. Gives him a little hand clap. Flores will replace Meadows. And Sierra Bates, number 22, is going to come into the ball game. 5'10" sophomore forward. They're going to let her go on in as she's going to replace McKaylee Martin. Martin with 3 points, 5 rebounds, but did a good job defensively.
Very good job defensively on Meadows.
So here comes Galloway across the time stripe with it. Trying to take Bates down the right side of the lane. Gets free for layup momentarily, but then she'll draw the contact, and this one's going to be on Alexis. That's only her first foul, team first.
Not a smart foul. She knows it as she's grinning, headed toward Coach Rice.
Little conversation as Monet Galloway from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, is taking first free throw. And this one rolls off the left side. Galloway's first trip there this evening. Second one was in. She didn't think it was. She started towards a goal.
Maybe a little early across that line.
Yep. Still 72-40. Lady Bulldogs in front. They've led from the jump. Started out 11-0, and they've not looked back. Jimenez-Diaz feeds it near corner to Mayo, and that one was telegraphed the whole way. Flores picked it up. They're trying to get it into Anna Crowder. Now Mayo picks it away from behind, clears it out to Bates. Lady Bulldogs have numbers. Bounce pass feed over to Jimenez-Diaz, but they're going to get a kick ball violation in that one. I'm not sure she actually got her foot on it.
That's unfortunate.
Because that took Coach Rouse pleading with the official that it wouldn't kick. But nonetheless, it's going to be a Wesleyan ball underneath. Takes 2 points off the board. It was a great assist and score between Bates and Jimenez-Diaz. Now Crowder with it, top of the key, working against Boyd. Bates goes left side of the screen, drops it to Jimenez-Diaz. Battle of the twos right here, her and Breeding. She'll dish it off to 22. Sierra Bates, 3 goes in and out. Here comes Long with the rebound. She's not going to give it up most likely. She does at the last second, and it's deflected. Sierra Bates had really, her and Crowder down there kind of cut her off, it looked like. And she was going to pass it off. J.C. Powell coming back into the ball game. She'll replace Cambry Mayo. 6:25 to go in this one. Here comes Crowder up the floor. Sends it down to the baseline to Bates, and it just sails through her fingertips. Definitely rushed that one. Again, the men's game coming up after this one.
Pass was a good idea, but it would have had to have been just about perfect.
Now Galloway gets in the lane, takes a shot. Comes off the backside into the hands of Anna Crowder. Far side, it's Powell. She'll skip it back near side to Jimenez-Diaz. Wesleyan has done a great job moving the ball today. A lot of good passes, except for that one right there. Deflected by Flores, trying to get it into Crowder was Jacob. Breeding stepped back for 3, and she's got another one. 72-43 the score. And now it's Breeding trying to intercept it in front of Powell. Powell able to regain it. Bates has it. Skips out Sierra Bates from her sister. Nice,
Bates to Bates.
Nice twin duo right there. Gets them 75 points. A 32-point lead.
Again, you shoot the 3 so much better when the pass goes inside out and you're able to step into it.
Wesleyan's done an outstanding job. Now Bluefield does the same thing offensively as Galloway hits it from the right far wing.
They've actually warmed up a little bit on 3s.
They were shooting under 5%. Now it's above 10. Powell Skip over to Sierra Bates on the far side. Gets it to her sister Alexis. Near corner three. A little too strong. Boyd gets the rebound. Clears it out to Galloway. Up to Breeding. Breeding's going to step back, take a three. This one off the front rim. And coming in for the rebound was Flores. She's going to pick up the foul against Sierra Bates, number 22. Team second. J.C. Powell will exit. Mayo back in. Ella Crowder is going to sub in for Anna Crowder. Coach Rice has used everybody that's ready to go for him with 3 players in street clothes, at least a red shirt on the bench, nobody else out there. So everyone getting to play and everyone in the scoring column today. 4:35 to play in this ball game. Lady Bulldogs in front, 75-46. Meadows coming back to the scores table for Bluefield. Here's Powell, skips it over to Alexis Bates on the right wing. Inside pass to Powell is momentarily tipped away, but it's going to be because of a foul here by Boyd. Her first, team second.
Talked about it before. It's always good for team morale, team chemistry when everybody gets to play and everybody scores.
And they've made it look very easy today. As you talked about, that inside-out game has worked very well for them. Getting a lot of people open shots.
Well, what you mentioned in the pregame, I think, has come true in spades, and that is that Bluefield doesn't defend you real well.
Nope. Now, pass out is intercepted. Bluefield on a fast break. Here comes Hoover with it, and she'll score. And it's going to be a quick timeout here by Bluefield. So Wesleyan leading at 75-48. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Did you know that
Back here from James L. Robb Gymnasium, Dwayne Farmer Court. Bluefield going to come out in a press here. Out of the timeout with 4 minutes to play, trailing by 27 against Tennessee Wesleyan. Powell catches it in the front court, gets it back to Mayo. It's Ella Crowder, Alexis Bates, and Sierra Bates, the other 3 out there. Mayo gets a feed inside from Alexis Bates, and she'll get 2 free throws coming her way after Boyd's going to pick up her second foul.
Zone press 1-2-2, looking to trap, but falling out of it man-to-man.
So Mayo will step back to the line. Misses that one for her first miss tonight. 2 of 3 now. 3:47 to play. Mayo's second one is short as well. Meadows gets the rebound, clears it out to Hoover. Hoover gets it to Flores, who is trailing the play. Now they work it to the far side. Feed into the high post to Meadows, trying to take Ella Crowder off the dribble. Now here's a second chance opportunity for Boyd as she makes it and draws the contact. This one's going to be on Sierra Bates, her second.
What we did so well in the first half, we've not done well in the second half, and that is box out and go the boards.
Yep.
We've had several second chance opportunities.
So here's Boyd at the line. She makes the three-point play with the free throw. I agree with you 100% there. Rebounding has slowed down a little bit for them, but still at 40 compared to 32 currently for Bluefield. It could very well have been over 50 already. Powell takes a 3 from the right side, missed it. Bates battling for the rebound, clears it out to Ella Crowder. She's going to drive inside between 2 defenders and gets the layup off the glass.
With the left hand.
Use the left hand on the left side. That will please a coach every time. Here comes Hoover, blocked by Mayo inside. Now drops it out to Boyd as she got the ball back. Meadows is going to tip it. Well, it looked like Meadows tipped that one out of bounds, but nonetheless, it's going to be a defensive opportunity here for the Lady Bulldogs. Penning's going to return. She'll replace Mayo. 26-point advantage, 77-51. Inbounding it will be Boyd. Meadows gets it, had to regain it. Bates tips out the pass. Now tries to push it up the floor over to Powell, who didn't know it was coming. Bluefield picks it back up, and they'll knock down a three from the left side. 77-54. 2:35 to play.
Drove it into the middle of that press, but we were able to get through it. Not really what you want to do. You like to pass across it.
Here's Crowder with it. Sarah Bates left side, feed the high post to Crowder. She'll kick it out to the other Bates, who misses the three on the right wing. Here comes Hoover off the clear out from Boyd. Right side, Breeding going all the way in. A lot of contact, and that one is going to be whistled to stop play. And that one's going to be on Penning, her second, team fourth. And that's going to send Breeding to the line. Breeding an 83% shooter on the season. Misses the first one, rattles out. Second one for Breeding is up and in here. To Powell, skip past to Penning. Baxter near corner. Thought about the three. Shot clock at 4.
I'd like to see the shot there.
Now Ella Crowder goes in, doesn't get the shot off, but she'll draw the foul on the floor on Kruger, her second, team fourth. It's a lot of late whistles here keeping this one going. We're at 1:36 from this one finally being over. It'll be Powell to key it in underneath. Gets it into Alexis Bates. Shot clock at 20 after the foul. Penning gets it up to Powell. Now Alexis Bates comes on the baseline and receives it. Baxter dishes it off to Ella Crowder. Wesleyan down to 5. Penning trying to take it all the way in. Somebody's going to have to throw a shot up. Powell does, and that's going to airball for a shot clock violation with 1:15 to go.
We never got anything going toward the basket that possession.
Long's going to let it roll up the floor. She'll pick it up just before the Bulldog logo. We've approached the final minute of action here. Boyd just loses it on the way to the rim. Picking it up here, though, is Kruger. She'll get it back to Boyd on the wing. Boyd goes to the opposite side of the lane. Layup is all the way in and pops back out. And the Lady Bulldogs will have it with Bates coming up the floor. Bluefield has missed several inside shots like that. Meadows being one of them. It's missed several inside tonight. Wesleyan just trying to keep it away from them. Penning with it. Shot clock now approaching 10 seconds to go. Feed down low to Ella Crowder. Guarded by Kruger. Kick out. Penning for three, and it's blocked out of bounds by Long, and there's no time on the shot clock anyway. So it should be
a shot clock violation. Should have been.
Yeah. So, yep, it will send it Bluefield's way. Now the shot clock will turn off.
You need to let that horn sound.
Yep. 27.7 remaining. And it's going to be Kruger to bring it up the floor. Sends it left side to Boyd. Boyd keeps it above her head, wanted to get to Flores. Now she'll sidestep for the three. Missed it. Powell with the inside rebound. And this one will do it. It's Bluefield. Long's going to pressure in the backcourt, but there's 7 seconds remaining, and Tennessee Wesleyan is going to walk out of James L. Robb with a 22-point victory, 77-55 against Bluefield, and earn the regular season split against the Lady Rams. They do it with an outstanding day of shooting, especially from behind the arc. Got a little bit colder as it went on, but it was enough in the third quarter to pull away and not make this one any closer. So let's take a 30-second break, and Coach Jeff Rice is making his way up. We'll be back from Tennessee Wesleyan in 30 seconds.
At Simmons Bank,
WJSQ FM 101.7, Athens.
Back here at Tennessee Wesleyan, where the Lady Bulldogs come out victorious 77-55. And I don't know that I've seen a grin on Coach Jeff Rice's face that big in a long time, maybe on the golf course recently, but he
I haven't been playing that good. There ain't no grin out there. It's middle of the winter.
But short-handed tonight like you were against St. Andrews, but you pick up 2 conference wins while you're short-handed.
You know, I thought Saturday we played really, really hard, a little different game. We was pressing and just trying to create chaos and up and down and making it as fast as we could. And tonight they zoned us the whole time, and it was really, really nice to see the basketball go through the hoop, especially from 3. I mean, to make 10 in the first half, I don't know what we ended up with. We only made 3 in the second half. I was wanting to make 20. But you know, I thought we defended them very well. We kept them from shooting the 3. We kept them from getting to the rim, and I thought we did a pretty good job rebounding the basketball. I mean, they're pretty athletic and can go get some of them. But I mean, hats off to kids. I mean, we've been through a lot with the 2 injuries that probably done for the year, and it looks like we're going to have Jordan back for Saturday, which is really, really good. And everybody stepped up and played really, really well. We've had a bunch of kids off the bench. Come in and did some nice things for us, and couldn't be more pleased with their effort.
A career high day for Alexis Bates. She had a good game on Saturday as well, but with 17 points, she leads you. Jimenez Diaz, Jacob just 1 point away from a double-double at 9 and 12. But then you had everyone in your lineup score tonight, which is a good sign that things were going really well.
Yeah, and they're and that's the thing, they share the basketball so well. I thought Anna started us off very well, being super aggressive, going to the rim a couple times. I mean, we talked about they won't guard us. They'll push you one way, and you can get all the way to the rim. And I think the first 8 points were all layups, and then we started shooting it good. And anytime you can attack the rim, you make them help, and they kick it out, and you get a lot of wide open looks. And that's what we did. You know, Lexi, we've known Lexi can really, really play. I mean, you know, Stone is a great player in her own right. They're a little bit different. Lexi shoots it really, really good at times, and hats off to her. Played 2 great games, and she showed Coach Rice you probably need to be playing a lot more all the way through. And then sometimes when you get your opportunity, that's what you do. You know, it goes one of 2 ways, and she has taken the most of her opportunity and ran with it.
It's kind of the next player up mentality, and they've done a great job of it as well. You talked about sharing the ball, 17 assists on 28 made shots, and did a lot better passing it around. I know we heard you several times say, keep moving it, trying not to get stagnant offensively.
Yeah, that was the only time we had trouble not scoring, is when we either dribbled it around the outside or it stuck in somebody's hands. With that little 1-2-2, the way they were playing it was just really, really hard for them to if we kept moving it, for them not to get lost on the backside with the cut, because somebody has to help on the cut because they're taking the next one at the top, and we got some of those wide open cuts down the middle, and if not, we skipped it to the backside, and you know, it's not. Me and Coach always talked about for 30 years now. It ain't rocket science. Throw it to where they ain't, and make open shots. And we're fortunate to do that tonight. It'd be a whole different game if we don't shoot it very well.
And one thing you did is played great defense. This is the #1 scoring team in the league, 74.6. They also give up 78 points a game, so that showed up.
Yeah,
but you all held Meadows in check.
We did, and to be honest, she didn't play very well. She didn't make a whole lot of shots. I think she got frustrated. And the way we play post defense is there's always somebody around to just make you a little bit uncomfortable. We've been fortunate to be able to do that with the Union through the years, and anybody that's had a lot of post players like to be down there one-on-one, and if they got small hands down in there coming and know they don't really have dribbles that they can be confident with, it's really, really hard for them to operate down in there.
Just a great job. A couple other players. McKaylee Martin was one of those we talked about. She didn't score a lot tonight, but some good rebounds and some good presence inside.
And we've been talking to Jacob about going to the boards, and she gets 12 of them, and she just went and got some offensive rebounds, and shot it a little bit bad for her, but hey, when you 9 points, 12 rebounds, we'll take that every night from her.
She's coming off tying her career high at 23 on Saturday, so still finding some good rhythm from her. You've got a few days off before Columbia on Saturday. I hope, as you said, to get Jordan Wright back, but maybe a couple of days of rest here, but also to work on some stuff.
Yeah, and it was a short turnaround with a long trip to St. Andrews, and the next thing you know, you got 1 day to prepare for them, and we'll take tomorrow off. I'll coach will be at Spring Brick about 1 o'clock if anybody wants to come, and then then we'll go to work on Tuesday and on Thursday and Friday, getting Jordan back in the swing of things and working on some things we need to work on, and then we play Columbia on Saturday and got an alumni game right afterwards. So we hopefully have a big crowd and a lot of those alumni coming back and play and just be nice to see them and be around them for a little. That's one of the things you miss most when the more you coach is those kids you really like, and you don't get to see them near as much as you once did, every day. And so we look forward to getting them back on campus.
That'll be a great job. Again, the Lady Bulldogs go to 9-6 in the conference, 11-6 currently, and pick up your second win in a row. Coach, best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you joining us.
Good job, Coach.
As he said, just probably one of their better games that they've had all season. They go for the second straight game, score 77 points against St. Andrews and Bluefield, and pick up 2 wins in a row. Their highest of the season's 82, but the 77s would have been just right there at the second best. So they do it with Alexis Bates, a career high day, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Cambry Mayo, 14 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists. Anna Crowder ends her day with 11 points and 8 rebounds. 9 points and 12 rebounds and 2 assists by Jacob Jimenez Diaz. J.C. Powell with 8 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 6 points and a rebound and an assist for Ashley Baxter. 4 points and 2 rebounds and an assist for Ella Crowder. McKaylee Martin again, 3 points, 5 rebounds, but good job defensively. 3 points by Sierra Bates and a rebound. 2 points by Taylor Penning and a rebound. So everybody also rebounds as well today for the Lady Bulldogs. Destiny Long and Kaya Boyd are the 2 double-figure scores, 14 and 11 respectively for the Bluefield women. And as a team coach, if you want to hit those numbers for us real quick.
All right, first for Bluefield. Bluefield was 21 of 66 for 32% from the field. 4 of 24 for 16.7 on threes, and that was most all those came very late. 9 of 13 at the free throw line, 63%. 10 turnovers, 35 total rebounds, 8 assists, 2 blocks, 6 steals. For Tennessee Wesleyan, 77 points on 28 of 67 from the field, right at 42%. 13 of 35, 37.1% on threes. 8 of 12, 67% to free throw line. 12 turnovers, 43 total rebounds, 17 assists, 3 blocks, 7 steals, and a big win tonight against Bluefield.
That's the biggest thing. It's a win. No matter what it looks like, it's a win, as impressive as it was for the Lady Bulldogs. Their 9th win in a row on this floor against the Lady Rams of Bluefield. And again, they get their 11th win overall on the season and 9-6 in the conference, 7-2 here at home. So that'll wrap up our women's broadcast. We're going to take a break before the start of the men's game. We'll send it back to you, Handsome Dan, to spin some records. Back to you.